Live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri, he is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
The KSM Show.
Thank you. So, folks, I'm very fired up today, because today, by the way, do you know I have another brand? I'm not talking about the KSM brand, though. There's a whole category of people that know me as the youngest old man in Ghana. Show some love for that, man. The youngest old man. And the reason they say that is because, I'm very youthful at heart, number one, and then I really pay attention to the youth. I try to understand them. I try to see where their thinking is coming from and all of that, right? So today I decided, let me go one-on-one with the youth, man. So today I have the pleasure to invite somebody known as the youth president. I want to sit down with him and engage him small. They have all the energy. This way. And this is all just youthful exuberance, or do they have a mission and a vision? I don't know. But I have in the house today somebody to explain everything to me. Put your hands together. Show some love for my son. Okatakyie, Afrifa. Hey. My son, Akoba, please, sit down. Okay. Folks, he's called the youth president. I don't know why. When we start, I'll find out why. But in the meantime, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, I'm in the house with the youth president. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
You can freshen up at home and in your car. So, why insure just your car? Introducing Comprehensive, a single insurance policy for both your car and home. Get Comprehensive from Vanguard, because when it comes to insuring your car and home, boom preco.
Most of you are loving my jacket. Mr. Sao, I am if a rough. The jacket is provided by Afrifa Essentials. So if you want some, this is the number to call, 0209 059 215. So call Afrifa and get yourself a pretty decent jacket.
The KSM Show.
We're back. Thank you. We're back, and we're going to have a very, very, very serious conversation today. Back in the day, when I was much, much, much younger, before all of you here were born, I was in school and we were sort of like radicals. I probably call it at one time, they called me Obibini. Do you know why? They say I was everything here, black. We're thinking black. So they call me Obibini, man. Show me some love, man. Sometimes I listen to TV3 and I hear this jingle. Say, Obibini grab my head. But I think that's funny. But anyway, that's what they called me. And the reason was that, we're so dynamic, so into Ghana, so into Africa. We need to be Africans. We need to be black. I remember at one time we said we were going to go to a house by house and uproot all the names that were named after Europeans. Like Pearson House, I was in Pearson House, There was Ramsey House. There was Butler House. There are all these European name houses. We wanted African names, man. And things like that, But as we're growing old, we thought that it was all a phase. You get into that phase and you get radical, and then you grow up and you stop. So today I'm here with the youth. Very, very dynamic man. Okatakyie, Okasa. Then they pay tier. I see the likes on on Facebook. I see the likes on social media, and I say, this man has people listening to him. Is it just a face? Or is he a rebel with a mission or a rebel without a cause?
Okay.
Sorry for my long introduction, but I want people to understand where I'm coming from. You are very dynamic, man. They call you the youth president. We'll come to that in a minute. But this face, you and all these freedom fighters, I don't want to name them. All I'm saying is this. Are you just going through a phase? What's happening? Because it happened to us back in the day. You also seem to be going through this era of radicalization and we need things to change. Is this also a phase, or you guys think you have something that we didn't have?
I will come to your question about radicalism and the cause, whether it's a rebel without a cause or with a cause.
Yes.
But before that, let me add something small to what you started with, the naming thing. We are more or less the 4th generation after colonialism when we gained independence. And it is sad that we continue to impose onto the next generation things that were forced down our throat. Now, Marcus Garvey said something, and I quote. He said, until the black man has his own literature, until the black man has his own company, until the black man creates his own school, until the black man creates his own name and be proud of his own name, the world will stop at nothing to look at us. And for so many centuries, we keep on naming our kids certain names that does not reflect the pride of an African or a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Wabo wudin Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah awienu ni abusa say na wabrofo din. Christ me, abrofo din for what? What do you need abrofo din for?
I say be I want to be a Simon.
I used to be called Leo Mensah. When I woke up from my slumber, I asked myself, I am not Leo Mensah. I am Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah.
Okay.
I have not seen any white man who is called Ajimai Sewa, Mauli, Maunya. So why do we continue to impose onto the next generation things that were forced down our throat during the colonial days?
Yeah. Okay.
I believe moving forward, we must move away from these shackles of colonialism, naming our kids. Look, the only reason the white man did that is because in the past, Kofi Asiedu, when he goes to America, can give his paper to another person who would be even a female, and they wouldn't know. They couldn't differentiate us by names. So in order for them to be able to differentiate us, they had to impose on us their own names. And this is what they did. They passed it through Christianity. So they say when you are baptized, you need to be given a Christian name. So and they give
Christian
you Paul.
Happen to be an European
name. They give you Paul, they give you Peter, they give you Dinah, they give you all these names. Then I ask myself, so if Father in heaven does not want to see Ajaman in heaven, does not want to see Mauli in heaven, does not want to see Mawunya, does not want to see Ni, Teko, and all that in heaven, then it means he does not need you after all. So we must be proud of our names. We've been conscientized to believe that the white man cannot mention the Ajaman, the Amankwa, the Mauli. And for that matter, we must. Who cares whether a white man can mention Mauli or not? One of the highest positions in the world is the UN Secretary General. Kofi Annan, Eddie Kofi Annan, Nefrukoduru, Wamfa Maxwell, and William Nefrukoduru. So let us begin to be proud of our names so the white man will give us some level of respect.
So, I hear you. So let me take you back to like our days when we also started with this kind of revolutionary agenda. Let's uproot all European names, and then it all fizzled out, And all of those of us who started, now when you see them, we're all comfortably middle class, upper class. We see these things now, so they also go through and they'll go over it and be over it. That's what I want to get.
The ripple effect of what you guys did is what you are seeing today. In the past, it used to be just few of you talking. But when we woke up and we saw, in fact, certain people walk up to me and say, you remind me of the days when KSM came back from abroad. He was very vibrant, he was fighting.
That's what they tell
So it did not die, it did not fizzle out. The only thing is that when you light up a candle, and that candle is dying out, all you have to do is to light up another one by using the fire on that candle to light up another one. So your fire is dying out, But us, who has the energy, who has the tenacity to continue, we are going to light ourselves on the little fire left on you, so the next generation will come and benefit from it.
Well, that's a very interesting way. I've never thought about it that way. I thought we come, but you say we haven't, whatever we did, we left a legacy that you guys have picked up from.
When Facebook first came into being, funny enough, on social media, you could see names, some funny female names like Sweet Pepper, the Berry, the this, the that. They were not even proud of the African names. But now when you go on social media, check it. The names that are common there, Nana Sewa Papabi, Nana Fiajemai, Akutudi and Diay, Mawenya, the people are becoming aware of what is going on around them and becoming prouder. And I can tell you, in the next 20, 30 years, we will not be having this conversation again.
Because there will be no need to have it.
In fact, people will get awakened and come to understand that we have been in bondage, mental slavery for far too long, and the time has come for us to own our own destiny and do our own things our own way. Create an African personality that the world will stop to respect. So we will not have this conversation in 30 years. Yes.
Because what I feel is that, we started this some time ago, but you guys also have the benefit of social media. But I keep thinking, you personally, are you a rebel with a cause? And I said, youth president. First of all, why did they call youth president?
Papa, youth president was given to me by one Pastor Brian Amwatin. I think when I was interviewing him, then he said that, you are the youth president of this nation.
Oh, really?
So what can they said Jesus Christ, Gina Pontius Pilate, and Nimia Kachi, and said, who need you for him? Was you, Waka. And this is what can they.
So that's how you got there.
So talk about radicalism.
Yeah.
Marcus Garvey said radical is a term they use to describe any human being endeavoring to fight for a change. Now, when George Washington was fighting for a change some 3 centuries ago, they called him radical. Jesus Christ was the greatest radical. When Kwame Nkrumah was fighting for the freedom of the people, he was a radical. So when people say we are radicals, I think it's a good thing for us to accept. Just that we are not radicals without a cause. We are radicals with a cause. We can see what is going on around us. We can see us being taken advantage of for so many decades. And we can no longer take that kind of being taken advantage of anymore. And for that matter, we need to speak out. Now, Martin Umuela said something, and I quote. He said, when they came for the Jews, I did not speak because I was not Jewish. When they came for the trade unionists, I did not speak because I was not trade unionist. Then they came for me, and there was nobody to speak for me. I can decide that I am not going to speak. I am going to go by the same playbook these politicians are using, get to the top, die, and go, but my conscience will forever live in bondage and cell if I do not speak against the kind of bondage these people that claims to be leaders, but actually misleaders are doing to the masses. That is why I speak. So I have a cause. That is why I speak. I'm not radical without a cause.
So you're a rebel with a cause.
I am a rebel.
And your cause is?
And the cause is that we see development. We see national development, and for so many years, almost 30 years of, they said we are in the 4th Republic dispensation.
Yeah.
I have seen that we go around in circles every year, year in, year out. We are not making headway, so I need to speak. So we have a national plan that will take us far, just like China, just like Singapore, just like Malaysia have done. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. So that is our cause. What we are telling the misleaders we've had for these many years is that they need to change their ways. The ways of IMF, the ways of World Bank, the ways of borrowing. We need to change our ways and find African solutions to our African problems. Papa, all we are saying is very simple. That politics and governance is the functionality of common sense. When you find yourself in complex situations, most times the simplest of solutions are the ones that works. We sit in this country and these people who claim that they went to Yale, they went to Harvard, they went to Oxford, they keep on giving us the same low-class kind of governance, temporary governance that we cannot understand. For instance, we've lived in a country, government goes, government comes, government goes, government comes, and they keep on governing a country with party manifesto. Which country in this world survived or became powerful with party manifestos? instead of having a national development plan that is binding, that is continuity, that has continuity that every government will have to follow, we are not doing that. Now look at what happened in Singapore. Malaysia, Singapore, China, the decisions they took some 60 years ago is what has brought them to where they are today. Malaysia, they said that we cannot continue to divide ourselves in the name of politics. So we will divide ourselves and start pulling each other down and saying opposition. So opposing to anything that somebody suggests. Let's come together with one common aim, one common destiny, and look at where Malaysia is. Look at China.
Yeah.
Chairman Mao developed a 70-year development plan for China.
Yeah.
That everybody, including Xi Jinping, is continuing that plan. And today, look at where China is. China is a superpower.
Yeah.
Singapore did same, and today, look at where they are. Unfortunately for us, right after independence, a certain group of people, particularly this president and his family, J.B. Dankwa, because they had been educated at number 10 Downing Street, sitting at the table with the Queen Elizabeth and his people, drinking lagers that anybody can imagine, they said they were not going to allow Kwame Nkrumah to unite this country so we can forge forward in one common aim and destiny. And look at where we are today.
Let me just go back a little bit. You know, you talk about the Singapores, the Chinas, everything, you know. Fortunately for them, they went through periods of development without military intervention and coup d'etats, which have plagued us in Africa. The coups and everything. And I know you're talking about continuity and how continuity helps with national development agenda. But look at us. Coup upon coup upon coup. And I'm sad to say that even our international airport is named after a coup maker.
Which is Kotoka.
Kotoka is a coup maker. He came to overthrow a constitutionally constituted government. And that's how we have named our first airport after a coup maker. So can you apply the same principles to Ghana and Africa? You know, because our relationship with the coup makers and those who have destroyed the continuity is cordial.
Baba, you and I understand, and you are much grown, so you will know better, that these coups were foiled by CIA and its agents. And all these agents were blacks who claimed to be opposition leaders. Now, when you talk about Kwesi Afrifa, General Ankara, Kotoka, and the rest, they were only championing the agenda of the J.B. Dankwas and the MPP tradition, which is the UP tradition. Hence the coup. So if all of us had come together with one common aim and destiny without dividing ourselves, how was the CIA and the American group were going to do those coups?
Yeah.
So it was as a result of our greedy nature. It was as a result of our incessant creation of wealth for our own self instead of the masses. It's what allowed these coups to foil and foster. Other than that, we would have continued like China, we would have continued like Singapore without anybody experiencing coup. So the coups only came about because of the opposition we experienced in this country from 1957 to date.
And even more than the opposition, I'm thinking that the effects of colonialism on the people, you know, it had changed everything, including our palettes of things that we needed to adhere to survive. For example, when Nkrumah was overthrown, you were not born. Were you born?
No, I wasn't.
No.
I wasn't.
I was born.
But
I was not an adult. But let me tell you something. The support in the streets was overwhelming. People were in the streets dancing, jubilating. I remember back in that day, back in those days, my father was a chaplain at the KNUST. You know, so we went to Asafo Market then because Kotoka was, they had come to Kumasi. The crowds, even as a kid, I remember then, massive. I'm saying this just to make the point that even a coup that is as unnecessary as an 1966 coup was met with spontaneous support and jubilation. So how do you fix that?
But politics in Africa is the rearranging of tribes to see which one is more superior. Other than that, there is nothing. The only reason that the coup that overthrew Nkrumah got that massive support was because the likes of Bafo, Seakutu, and LMDMs were opposing Nkrumah, and Nkrumah was seen as an anti-Ashanti, an anti-Akan sort of. And for that matter, the people that at that time felt that they were superior to the other tribes, they had to go to the street and celebrate. Then in celebration, they were brainwashed to believe that anything Nkrumah did, including motorway, was even wrong. And for that matter, omokofa grader bisiso abidwi ni nyina asay no. So it was more of the people not understanding what is going on around them, and they're being taken advantage of by a certain group of people who believe that they are the first-class citizens of this country and all other people are second-class citizens. So they are using the media. They use the media against Nkrumah. They are using the media to impoverish the people's thinking. That is why some of us, we say that we will continue to awaken the masses. We will continue to emancipate their minds. And when we finish and they understand what is going on around them, I'm sure one day they will get up and beat all these people who are misleaders on our soil.
The youth president, yo! It's getting exciting, but it means we have to take a commercial break. When we come back, this discussion will continue. We'll be right back. Folks, have you heard about the Stanford Seed? Well, this is an amazing initiative of the Stanford Graduate School of Business. And what they do is they partner with dynamic entrepreneurs in emerging markets, and they train them to become thriving enterprises. I want you to listen to Linda, who is one of the beneficiaries.
Hello, my name is Linda Ampa, CEO of Card Manufacturing Limited. Some 7 years ago, a friend introduced me to Seed Transformation Program. In that program, I learned the impact I was making on my community I didn't even know. I also learned to give certain aspects of the business to competent people to handle. I was stressed out, I was tired, I was frustrated. Today I can say with all confidence the business has grown exponentially. I am happy to say that Seed Transformation Program has helped me, giving me the needed skills to be able to grow this business. I encourage you to apply to participate in this program. You can find application forms on seed.stanford.edu or call telephone number 0540-115-118. Apply by 1st of June. Believe me, it is worth it.
And the deadline for the submission is June 1st, please, June 1st. So call this number 0540-115-118. I was talking about Stanford Seed, and we listened to Linda. I want you to listen to another beneficiary of the Stanford Seed program. Take a look at this.
My name is Samuel Apenteng. I'm the managing director of the Joysam Group. Investigate groundwater and make available water to as many people as we can in our rural communities. We have since then moved into urban and peri-urban communities as well. And we hadn't made much stride by 2014 until I met with the CEO of Stanford Seed, who told me about the opportunities available to improve on our business. And so we have moved from one country to 2 countries currently, and are moving into a 3rd country. And we are registered in 8 African countries. And so I would like to encourage anybody who so desires to make significant impact in their businesses to join this group by going on the seed.stanford.edu. If you have any inquiries, just dial 0540-115-118, and your application must begin now because it ends on the 1st of June. Thank you.
And the number again, 0540-115-118. Okay, folks, you know, Mother's Day there, we all make the noise, Mother's Day, Mother's Day. Father's Day coming. We are going to make some massive noise. For the first time, I'll be performing a show dedicated to all fathers. Your friend Ejapa. Yes, the show is called Ejapa. It is going to be happening at the Cactus Creek. Just stick around. Next week, I'll give you all the information and numbers you can call. Father's Day, special dedication from KSM to all fathers. Your friend Ejapa. We'll be back next week. They have finally started from Accra to Kumasi to Wa. And you can actually fly from Wa to Kumasi back to Accra. Passion Air. I started with this triple city action, man. So please, if you want to enjoy any of the 3 cities, Passion Air is the airline. You can call them on their toll-free number. Most of you are loving my jacket. Mensah Sao. I am if rough. The jacket is provided by Afrifa Essentials. So if you want some, this is the number to call: 0209 059 215. So call Afrifa and get yourself a pretty decent jacket.
What do you see? A couple of keys? Well, yes, but we see the value beyond that. We see the keys to your family road trips and the keys to where your kids sleep at night. But regardless of how much we value our homes and cars, most of us insure just our cars. Introducing Homeprehensive, a single insurance policy for both your car and home. Get Homeprehensive from Vanguard, because when it comes to insuring your car and home, fa bom prekon.
The KSM Show.
We're back. And today I'm hanging out with Okatakyie, my son, who at one point he said, "You remind me of the days KSM is youth." And that's how I heard about you, know.
Right.
We said, what is that boy? And I said, hey, that's our people. That's when I started listening to you. And then, of course, the question came, say, okay, that's how I was, you know, and how far is it going to remain and everything. But before the commercial break, you were talking about the lack of understanding of the general masses of the people, you know, which, rightly or wrongly, may attribute to the colonial legacy. You know, our education is still colonial. I mean, look at our judges and that nasty blonde wigs that they wear. I think any person who comes to power and say, "Charlie, me buy me trousers, have blonde wigs," they'll probably get my vote, because I think it's just a representation of how narrow-minded we are as a people. So in this day and age, in this hot sun, yet the dollars that we don't find, yet the crack wigs, blonde wigs, my judges, then they look regal because they're wearing those. But that's not what
it is as a result of lack of self-confidence in the black race.
Yeah.
We are so busily chasing after wanting to be Europeans, so much so that anything that makes us feel or look like the white man, we get happy without thinking about it. Yes, that is what is happening.
It
makes you feel like you are King George II, King George I.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these horse whips that we caps that we actually wear, it was banned in the UK in the era of King George I from 1533. So I don't know why we still carry it on here under this hot sun
with pride.
And we say, what? You're correct, Papa.
But you, how make I know? You're correct.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the movement or kids. No, I shouldn't say kids. The new age of, you know, militant radicals like you. This is what you're still up against it. You're up against this mindset that is so colonial. Your own people will insult you now. And that has become what has been acceptable to the people. You know, Captain Smart say, "You're shown when you be any." You see, in Niger, that's the attitude I'm talking about. Here you are. You think you have the nation at heart. You are fighting for the people. And the people that you are fighting for are telling you, "Oh, we're dear." How does it feel?
In fighting for Africa, you need to use just one hand. You use one hand to fight the people that you fight, and you use the other hand to prevent those that you are fighting for. Again, I understand that when you want to fight for a cause, it is only three things that happens to you. One, sometimes the people you are fighting against will fight you back. The people you are fighting with at some point will fight you, and the people you are fighting for will fight you. Yeah. If you understand these principles, nothing that happens discourages you from continuing to fight for them. After all, they do not understand what is going on around them. That is why they are behaving this way. Until they understand that if Ghana has petrochemical worth about 64.3 trillion US dollars, but when we are done with all the your oil and your gas, out of the 64.3 trillion US dollars, we will only have 6.4 trillion. They will beat them. When they begin to understand that we asked people to go to the negotiation table to negotiate on our behalf, our oil, our diamond, our bauxite, our gold, our timber, but the only thing we get from is less than 10%, then they will beat them. When they come to understand that we have a gold deal with foreign nationals, foreign companies, to the extent that you see this diesel that you and I use, we pay taxes on. But when we strike deal with foreign nationals, foreign companies, to come and extract our gold, our diamond, our bauxite, they buy this diesel without paying taxes. So when we are buying diesel at 11 cedi 50 pesos, they are buying diesel around 5 cedi 60 pesos. Meanwhile, they are extracting our diamond, they are extracting our gold, our bauxite, and taking it away. We sit in a country where all we hear is GDP has grown by this, GDP has grown by that. KSM, from 1974 right down to 1982, the GDP of this country, the Ghanaians own GDP to the tune of about 74%. But from 1984 till today, the GDP we have that we tout ourselves so much with, the Ghanaians do not own up to 15% of the GDP. The GDP is owned by Tullow Oil. Tullow Oil is a UK company. The GDP is owned by American companies. The GDP is owned by MTN. MTN is a South African company. The GDP we so much tout ourselves with, how much of that GDP belongs to Ghanaians? So for me, it is about continuing to emancipate the minds and providing the people with information. If they do not have anything to hide, why would they keep right to information bill on the desk for more than 20 years? And even when they have passed it, they give a caveat that until you pay for it, you won't have the information. If I have given you the power to rule this country, and yes, the constitution of this republic says that all power emanates from the people. It's the sovereign will of the people. So we have a social contract with Addo and his people and said that we are going to give you our sovereign will, our power. We're going to add on top of that taxes. We're going to add on top of that revenue from our mineral resources. What in return we expect from you is to give us the best of hospitals, the best of schools, the best of education. Now, when these people get this power and they are supposed to cut deals on our behalf, you sometimes wonder the kind of thinking that goes into these deals, that how can you make a deal with a white man and only 10% of our oil comes to the Ghanaian people? Whereas these individuals, they will go back the back door, go and form companies, because we have an act that says that any foreign company that comes into this country must have a Ghanaian counterpart. So they give the Ghanaian, the whole Ghana 10%, then they go behind and go and incorporate with foreign companies, then they give themselves much more than the 10%. So we will continue to present the information to the people, and one day, like I said, when eventually the time comes for them to wake up, they will wake up and beat this.
Yeah, for example, like talk about the extractive industry, gold, you know, and they'll give an argument like, we don't have the equipment, we don't have the ability, you know. I don't know of any Ghanaian company or any Ghanaian machinery company that is making machinery that can go and dig gold and exploit them. So they're saying, sir, if you're going to go to Abrafo, no matter to my idea, and no to no my be. Otherwise, let us shut up and then let's extract ourselves. So do you see that dilemma?
Baba, like I said earlier, leadership and politics is functionality of common sense. If you do not have what it takes, be it money, be it machines, to extract these diamonds, this gold, this oil, what stops you from having a negotiation with any foreign national company and said that when you come on board, let's know how much you are investing. If it is $1 billion you are investing, we agree. This is $1 billion you are investing. And for that matter, the next 5 years, we are going to make sure that you are going to get your 1 billion with an interest of 1.5 billion. After that, we are coming back to the negotiation table. So we will go 50-50 or 40-60. Whichever way, just like Norway did. Norway nationalized their oil. When you are coming in, they are the people that show you how much percentage you get.
Yeah.
Iraq, they nationalized their oil.
Yeah.
Because we are thieves, because we continue to take advantage of the people. We claim that we don't have what it takes. What does it take? How much does it take? Is it not individuals who came together to buy that machines that we are going to use to extract? Why can't the government spend money to buy those machines and extract the oil themselves? Are you saying individuals all around the world are much more richer than the government of Ghana?
So why do we settle for that? What do you think is the reason that we'll go and settle and say, okay, you come and you take 70% and go? Why are we settling?
Papa,
why are we not thinking on the bigger picture, like you're saying?
Build, operate, and transfer.
Yes.
They won't do that because it won't give them individuals money. Money foreign companies and none the back more say yeah ma Ghana 10%. Ne momu wunya 30% no media 5 be share media 10 be share. And you and I know, just recently it came out that our oil, certain people within this government, and Kofo Frebinum Prime Minister Ukrumha, were more former companies here, were more share as partners of these oil companies, and they are getting about 15%. Now, individuals they have perpetrated crime on the good people of Ghana, and nobody is able to prosecute them in this country. So, Papa, I agreed. There is too much for everybody's need in this country, but there is not enough for the greed of just 2% of our population. They are so greedy. They keep on having a colonial mindset that they are the new colonial masters. And for that matter, they have to make money, take it abroad, go and live the luxuries of it in the UK, come back and come and rule us. And you see, they don't even invest the money back in the country so the youth of this nation can get jobs to do. They put it in Swiss account. They put it in offshore account. So you ask yourself, are these leaders? No, they are not leaders. These are thieves who come in to capture the state for their own parochial interest. And until we get organic leadership, until we get leadership that emanates from the people, not this synthetic kind of leadership where an amphobi Neshia in 1992 and almost a former political party into a freeway so and a freeway so and a Kwame Nkrumah never became part of a freeway so and a so that is why he could give us authentic and genuine leadership. That's all where we are today. But these people, it is not leadership. It is a bunch of people who believe that their forefathers fought for the freedoms of this country, so it is their bona fide right to occupy those positions, hence fighting to get there. Not because they have some originality of ideas they want to help the country with. If not, Nana Akufo-Addo fought to become president of this country more than 40 years. If he had an originality of an idea that he wants to lead this nation, why will he steal speeches from American presidents? Couldn't he have simply called whoever the speechwriter was and say that this is my vision for the country, this is why I want to lead this country, and for over 40 years, this is my dream for the country, so put it into speechwriting. Obviously, he had no vision. He had no aim. He had no goal. He only wanted to fulfill his youthful ambition of becoming the president of this nation. So you see, until we get genuine leadership that emanates from the people, this country will continue to go around in circles and we won't go anywhere, Papa.
So talking about until we get genuine leadership that emanates from the people. Now we have a system where it's characterized as a two-party state, man. It's going to be one or the other. Wherein lies that path where some new leadership is going to emanate from the people? It's like it's clocked. You know what I'm saying? It's clocked.
Papa, this system will collapse.
This system will collapse?
Yes, it will collapse.
Which system?
The system we have today, all the pillars holding this system are weak. In this country, we have 8 pillars that holds the country. The 4 upper pillars and the 4 lower pillars. The 4 upper pillars are 1, the judiciary, which embodies where our trust used to be. And now nobody trusts the judiciary again, so that pillar is weak. We have the executive, which is President Akufo-Addo and his people. That is the second pillar. Nobody trusts them again, so that pillar is weak. Then we have the security service, where the police, the military, and other customs, immigration, nobody in this country trusts that pillar anymore, so that pillar is weak. Then we have the public service. The public service is so corrupt today that nobody trusts the public service anymore. So those 4 upper pillars are weak, and you and I know. Now the 4 lower pillars, which are the pillars of conscience. We talk about the religious pillars, the religious bodies. They were supposed to put these upper pillars in check, speak to their conscience. Unfortunately, that pillar is very weak today. They have been bought. Nobody is able to speak. So the religious pillar we have in this country is weak. Then comes the traditional pillars. The traditional pillar in this country that is supposed to be the moral authority of the people, they have been put on boards. All chiefs are now chopping. So most of them are not able to. Yes, I'm a chief. I am not chopping, but I say most chiefs.
I'm listening.
So, Papa, you see, clearly those pillars, 6 pillars are weak. Then comes the media, which is one of the lower pillars. One of the lower pillars of the media, you and I know the state of the media now. If you are not being intimidated to cower you into silence, you are given some insensitized jobs like the way Kwame Sivaka, like the way Paul Adomochre and the rest have been given juicy appointment to keep quiet and all. So obviously that middle pillar, which is the media, is also weak. So if you look at this facade of a system we've created and pride ourselves with that it has lasted for 30 years, all the pillars holding this fake system are weak and they know that it will collapse. Give it or take 10 years time, we won't have this fake system. If nothing is done about it, it will collapse.
Wow. That's deep. What you're saying is very, very deep. When do you think this collapse started? Is it just happening? Because you're talking about the judiciary, it's a suspect, the executive suspect, the media, the religion. It's like the whole country is suspect.
Yes, every day, every pillar holding this country is weak. It's weak and it will break down.
Since when have they
If Akufo-Addo is able to finish his term without this system breaking down, then his God is really a good one.
Really?
Because he was our last hope. For more than 50 years, Akufo-Addo was our last hope to change the system. The reason we voted for Akufo-Addo was not to come and build schools, was not to come and build hospitals, was not to come and build roads. John Mahama was doing that already. We thought that Akufo-Addo was going to fix the system and put some discipline in the system, just as John Pombe Magufuli of Tanzania did in 5 years. John Pombe Magufuli of Tanzania said that nobody that works in my government will drive a car that is above 2.0 liters. Here lies the case we thought Akufo-Addo was going to do same. He comes in, and not only are they driving V8, he himself is renting private jet and bathing in the air. That system will break, Papa. We thought that Akufo-Addo was going to put public service in check. So they go to work early, they will be paid on an hourly basis, so people will get productivity for how much we pay them. He has no clue about that, Papa. We thought that Akufo-Addo was going to put our security in check, give them the liberty to be able to work so they can put some discipline in the system. Unfortunately, he comes in and he is so happy with the J.J. Rawlings system, so he does nothing about it. The system will collapse. We thought that Akufo-Addo was going to give back the power of parliament to parliament and take the power of executive to executive. Whereas we have created a fake system that says that if you are a member of parliament who is supposed to be a watchdog over the executive, you have to be appointed onto the executive. How do you do that? How can you check your own self and say that I am a member of parliament but I'm sitting down as a minister of state? In 1979, under the 1979 constitution, you couldn't have done that. If you were a member of parliament and you were appointed as a minister of state, you were supposed to relinquish your seat as a member of parliament before accepting that seat. Unfortunately, we've created a fake system that ties the president's hand behind him and say that if you do not choose more than half of your ministers from parliament, we will not accept it. That system surely cannot survive the test of time. It will fall, it will fail.
Let me ask you this very quickly, because you are known as a campaigner for Nana Addo, So are you saying that you just found out all these things about him that you're now quite upset with the system?
Right. Even Nana Addo was packaged for us and we bought it. And I have said that the one who really did the packaging of Nana Addo for this country must come into the Guinness Book of Records as one of the best brands marketer in the world. Nana Addo believes not in anything he said. Look, I remember in 2008 when Nana Addo lost, he was being interviewed by TV3. He says that, and I quote, "Somebody says the sovereignty of the people by the barrel of the gun. when we call for democracy, he turns the barrel of the gun into a political party, gives himself power for 4 years, another 4 years. NDC is a walking illegality. So one will ask, if NDC and J.J. Rawlings was a walking illegality, then one fundamental document that has J.J. Rawlings' signature behind is the 1992 Constitution. In 2008 IEA debate, Nana Akufo-Addo internally said vehemently that when he becomes the president, he will form a constitutional review commission that will go around this country and ask the Ghanaian people what they want to be changed in the constitution. Unfortunately for him, he did not win. But Professor Mills saw the sense in what he said, and he formed the Professor Emeritus Albert Kojo-Fiajo Commission in 2010 on the 11th of January. When the Professor Emeritus Albert Kojo-Fiajo Commission went around this country and abroad, came up with a document which is Constitutional Review Commission report, telling us that Ghanaians are saying they want this to be changed, they want that to be changed, they don't want this to be changed. In fact, most people that went for that commission, including President Kufuor, including Addo himself, Professor Mills, all the prominent people you can think of, using about $6.8 million to formulate that document. Addo comes in and he says that he does not believe in the wholesale approach of the Constitution. I'm saying, Addo, and in 2008, when I come, I'm going to set up a Constitutional Review Commission. So obviously, he did not even believe what he was saying. He only wanted the people to vote for him, so he was saying anything that will let the people vote for him. In 2008, Addo branded "Believe in Ghana, believe in Ghana." Believe in Ghana, and you know, so Oko Hospital, Oko no UK. Believe in Ghana, so Dr. Bawumia stroke and yet no UK. Believe in Ghana, Akufo-Addo Mobu Rayana Yakura UK no Bako. Akufo-Addo ko holidays Oko no UK. And to believe in Ghana, no, you believe in Ghana, Beya. And you see, because we have allowed them to continuously do these things, that is why they do not take us serious. If we ask Obia with interest, KSM, Samiti, I am a president of Ghana. Now, say when I fall sick, I will make sure Kolebu will be one of the world-class hospitals. But when we continue to allow them to use the taxpayers' money to go to hospitals and check up outside this country, why would they have any reason to make sure our hospitals are good? If we continue to allow them to send their children at the expense of the taxpayer to these foreign schools, Yale, whatever, they can't, why would they have the sense of urgency to make our schools better? So for 4 years now, there is a new curriculum, but the textbooks that the students are going to use to study for 4 years is not there. And unfortunately, during the days of 1979 coup, 1981 coup, the people that led the coup and made the coup become vibrant was the student front, the student body. You know what they have done? They have entered the student front, created Tain and Tescon, broken the student front, which is Nooks, and for 4 years without textbooks for our new curriculum. Nooks president, so clearly, Addo did not believe anything he said, but some of us, unfortunately, me papa was could be disappointed. Because he was his guy, not the guy partner Addo. But
yeah, in the interest of time, let me just fast forward things now. Okay, so you worked extensively for the MPP.
I campaigned vigorously for Addo.
Campaigned vigorously
yes.
for Addo, and you are not disappointed because you think he's diverted. That's not what you were campaigning for,
right? And
you sort of like were very against Mahama because you think he also was going in the wrong direction or something. If the election was held today, who would you vote for? I want to put you on the spot.
Yes, sir.
And then.
Shows I love for KSM, man. Okay, so you know I'm somebody that do not hide my truth. First of all, I voted for Addo in 2016. I got disappointed in 2020, so I did not vote. But unfortunately, I think I have some conviction that if I believe Addo is not doing well, I have to do anything possible to make sure that we do not see the third time governance of Addo through Dr. Bawumia. I believe so clearly that Dr. Bawumia, a vote for Dr. Bawumia is a third term presidency for Addo. So if Dr. Bawumia leads NPP, I will vote against NPP. As to who I will vote for, I don't know yet, but I will vote against
What if Alan is MPP?
Well, I will reconsider my decision.
You reconsider the decision?
Yes.
And
because Dr. Bawumia is an extension of Nanado, just as Professor Mills was an extension of J.J. Rawlings in 1999.
Any possibility you think of about Mahama, or he, no matter what, he's out. The question is whether or not who is going to lead the MPP.
In fact, the point is that the Akufo-Addo has made Mahama an angel. We thought Mahama was the most corrupt president we've ever seen. We thought Mahama was the most inept government we've ever seen. We thought Mahama was a visionless leader we've ever seen. But for what the Akufo-Addo has shown us in the last 6 years, I think Mahama is an angel, man. But it's a lesser of the two evils. Not that I believe Mahama was going to or is going to do anything extraordinary, but he is far better than what the Akufo-Addo is doing.
Would you vote for him?
He is far better than what the Akufo-Addo is doing. I know Papa person the Meshach when I say, will I vote for him? Okay, so, in fact, I am not a fan of John Mahama. I have said this thing and I'll continue to say it. But the only thing that I am angry at is the governance system Akufo-Addo has given us. So I'll continue to preach to the people.
Praise the Lord, man! Oh, our time has gone, Okatakyie. I just brought you in because I just see a trend that comes every now and then. And I know that I was part of the trend in my younger years of a wind blowing. And I thought these changes that you have pushed it to the next 30 years. Honestly, when I said it, I thought I would see it in my lifetime. But at this stage, who's Emma so?
Oh, but what? You've seen it?
Oh, I've seen the
beginnings. You are
beginnings.
sitting here with one of the change.
Just allow one more time.
I keep on saying that one time somebody called me and said, is it that you want to be a president of this country? That is why you are saying this. I'm saying no. All I have to do is to keep awakening the people. And one day we will be lucky to have one of the people who are a student of Marcus Garvey, who are a student of Martin Luther, who are a student of Kwame Nkrumah, ascend to the highest seat of this country. Then maybe they can do the changes we call him for. Put your
hands together, man. Okatakyie, Afrifa, the youth president, and we have had a very, very interesting engagement. And you are listening, so you have your own views as to whether this trend, the passion that usually comes, whether it's a phase or whether this passion has come to stay. And whether in the next, I don't know, 10, 20, whatever years' time, we will see the real effects of the passion. I'm sure most of you will be there to judge. We are comfortably resting in peace, but we know that something must happen. Will surely happen.
Yes, one of the ripple effects of what we have been doing is what happened in 2020 election. For the first time in this history of this country, we've given them a hung parliament in 30 years.
Which we have never seen before.
Now, in the next election, any independent candidate that is strong in his jurisdiction will win election and not MPP or NDC. So we will get to a point where we will have so many independent candidates in parliament and they will decide the fate of the people, not political parties like Wuntumi.
Show some love, y'all. And we have come to the end of an exciting show, indeed, with the youth president, Okatakyie Afrifa. And I'm very grateful you came, and I'm glad that we had a chance to discuss. And then you also debate.
So, Papa, am I a radical with a cause or without a cause?
Oh, you have a cause. You definitely have a cause. But the question is the cause a phase or is it going to be sustained? That's the main thing.
It will be sustained.
It will be sustained.
Yes, it will.
One more time. And until we come back next week, folks, we have to sign off as we always do. Can you sign off for me?
So,
where's your camera?
Where's my camera? Okay, this one. So, like I used to watch my father from Bomfachi and he would say, in the meantime, in between time, I am out of here.